The federal probe into whether police violated people's constitutional rights by firing warning shots to stop them from crossing the bridge is over, but not everyone is satisfied. In the days after Katrina, in an effort to get out of New Orleans, people tried crossing the Crescent City Connection to get to the West Bank.
My understanding is that there's at least 10 or more that were trying to do that. But
the bridge was barricaded, a decision law enforcement agencies made to manage crowds high above the river.
And they were turned away by gunfire.
The Justice Department says at least one Gretna police officer fired his weapon into the air to stop them, but no one was injured. Fast forward 6 years, and the department announced its investigation is closed and it won't be prosecuted. In a statement released Friday, the department said after careful and thorough review, the Civil Rights Division and the U.S. Attorney's Office has determined the evidence was insufficient to prove that law enforcement personnel on the bridge acted with the requisite specific intent to do something the law forbids. The Gretna police chief says it's been a distraction that he's glad is now over.
We consistently felt that we did nothing wrong, and we've said that from the beginning, that there was no wrongdoing by our department. We certainly believe that and feel vindicated today that the Justice Department has also found that, and the federal courts have found that consistently in the civil litigation.
Donatus King, president of the New Orleans NAACP, is disappointed with the decision.
We were trying to evacuate from the floodwaters of Katrina. So to have an investigation where people were prevented from saving their lives and prevented with the use of force, with the use of firearms, to have an investigation determine that there was no violation of any law that occurred, that's disappointing.
The New Orleans NAACP says the actions on the bridge during Katrina are even more appalling when you consider that residents in St. Bernard Parish were allowed to flee the floodwaters on a barge or ferry across the river to the West Bank. The NAACP feels what happened on the bridge that day was a violation of civil and human rights. But the Justice Department says it just couldn't prove an officer intended to deprive anybody of a constitutional right. The local NAACP says it asked Mayor Mitch Landrieu and the City Council back in January to enter into an agreement with surrounding municipalities to allow people to get out if that is the case in the future. To date, the NAACP says it has not heard back. The City of New Orleans had no comment tonight.